organizations, Dwayne Dyer, Joel MACNINCH, Jason West. I'm going to miss people, but I'm just referencing some leaders that I know you've been seeing, you've heard of, and I'm just so excited to be hosting this call. And this is one of multiple calls that we will be having moving forward as we're projecting and we're thinking about new people, new stories, new team members that you're going to bring on, that we're going to be able to share vision and direction and the specific steps and strategies and the psychology on how to grow their business and to grow their business with speed. And my name's Chris Estes. For any of you that are wondering, who is this crazy guy with all this energy? This isn't, by the way, XM Plus. This is Super Mix. But we are recording this call. We'll get this replay to you. I'm a former school teacher and coach, and I just want to prepare you, buckle your seatbelts, and prepare for a ride here over the next hour or less. We'll call this a power hour, and probably we'll finish before that, but we'll allot for an hour, and we'll see what happens. Because when you have, listen to me, when you have leaders speaking tonight that have collectively been in this business for 120 plus years, what that tells you is they're committed. They have experience. They have a vantage point, a perspective that you just don't have yet. And so they're going to share the successes. They're going to be able to share some wisdom as to where we are and where we're going. So get excited, because you're going to learn the specific steps. You're going to learn how this, who's excited to swim in this $1 million pool? Who's excited for their team to swim in this $1 million pool? If you're excited, you all put in the chat and share some of your excitement that, you know what, I'm excited. I just don't know how to get in the pool. And so we're going to share with you how it works and what it does and who you should be talking to. And we're going to be hearing from different people throughout this power hour. So the first person that I want to introduce tonight is essentially the brainchild, the mastermind on this movement. And he's going to be sharing a little bit of his background, because I think it's so important for all of you to learn stories and to be able to use that story as you're talking to some of your network, your community members, your colleagues, people that are in your circle, because there may be a guest on this Zoom tonight. And I would encourage you, if you're a guest, at the end of this, there's going to be lots of energy. There's going to be potentially words that you're like, I'm not sure what that means. Get back with the person who invited you to this Zoom so you can get the information and the answers you need, because this is a time for you to take advantage of an opportunity. One thing I didn't say that is important as well, and remember, there's nothing wrong with generating a second stream of income. And especially in this time where we are in society and in economic times, to have another profit center, a second stream. And what you're going to hear, the people you're going to hear from tonight have collectively earned in the upwards of $100+ million in this business. So they're not just talking the talk, they have been walking the talk for, in some cases, multiple decades. So I would get your pen and paper, jot down some notes. But the first person I'm going to introduce tonight is, like I said, the brainchild of this movement as it relates to phase one and this $1 million pool. He had an idea. He brought it to the Field Advisory Board, and he's actually a member of the Field Advisory Board. He's a 7-figure earner in this business. He's a buddy. He's a tactician. He's a strategist. And so I'm going to turn the time over, and he's going to share with you a little bit about his background, but he's going to share how this pool works and what it does, so you can see the big picture. So Jason, appreciate you being on tonight. Excited to hear from you, brother.
Well, hey, Chris, hope is contagious. And back in 2011, buddy, I heard your hope. It was on day one of my business. I was introduced to you, 9 PET deep in your organization. You set up a system that you drove that found me 3 years after you started, 9 PET. And in that call, I heard hope, and hope was contagious for me. You see, at that time in my life, I was a school teacher, middle school teacher for about 14, 15 years, and a high school coach. And many of you know teachers and coaches. And here's what I know. They're experiencing the hardship of inflation. And that's where I was, 2008, 9, 10. I didn't get a raise, Chris. I was bringing home less money in 2011 than I did in 3 previous years. And so when I looked at this and I saw what it could possibly do for my family, the school teacher, I had the vision that I could make $500 extra a month, which would equal the raise I would get going to go be a principal. And that's my background prior to network marketing. I had never experienced anything like this. And so you took me under your wing. Chris, and let me get Chris Rogers muted out there. You took me under your wing, and the rest is history. So fast forward over the last 11 years, you know, I'm more of a quiet person that likes to listen, don't like to be known. I prefer to observe and ask questions. And that recently has served me really well. And because of that, I've been able to hear challenges or adversities or obstacles. In this case, the word of the day is barriers. And it was about 5 weeks ago, I was sitting in church and they had a visual representation of a veil. And we know what happened on Good Friday. The veil was torn from top to bottom. And I started thinking about that word. I started not only thinking, I started feeling that word barrier. What are the barriers in Isagenix? What's the barriers in my business? How could I remove these barriers? And what happened after a call, Chris, is I simply went on a bike ride. And on that bike ride, it just came together. Anyone that's ever rode a bike, they know that you got to pay attention most of the time. Your mind can't wander like it does when you run or walk or doing a meaningless task. You got to be focused. And for whatever reason, we were climbing a big old hill. You climbed it before with me. And this thing was like a 52 card pickup, and all of this came together in full integration. And I got off that ride and I called you and I called multiple fab members, and then we started putting it together, capturing it, polishing it up, and we were excited. That's what we had going for us. And then through the field advisory board collaboration, the corporate office moved with incredible speed on this from Monday afternoon to Friday afternoon. In a matter of about 72 hours, they put together a plan that was very close to the original plan, but was identical to the concept of the behaviors that we love seeing that has produced those hundreds of millions of dollars on this call, Chris. And so what I like to share for all of you, just so you know, I was asked the question, the board was asked the question, how do we create sustained energy? And that was a challenging question, but it's real simple answer. You force it. You force it. That's how you do it. You force it. And that's what's happened in such a quick period of time. So Chris, I'm going to quickly share how this works and what it does, and I'll give it back to you. So I'm going to share my screen. So I'm hoping everybody can stay on mute while I do this, because I'm not going to be able to see everything. I got to slow down a little bit. So the teacher and me. So I'm looking at you, Chris. Chris, can we see the magical whiteboard? All right, we're good to go. So how it works, the teacher and me. So I like visuals. I taught middle school math. Not everyone's an auditorial learner, so they got to see things. What I want you to see up here at the top is a timeline from the start, December 26th, where we can play, to this magical middle mile, which is March 27th, which is a huge date in the $1 million pool, all the way to June 25th. So I want you to see this fully integrated, a timeline of events here. As you can see how it works, if you want to play in the pool, we have, since March 27th on the right side, you have 6 blanks. This enrollment of qualifying 100 qualifying volume on subscription, that name would go in there. Some of you already have your 6. Some of you have 2. Some of you have 3. I want you to know 6 unlocks the door to play. So Chris, for a visual representation, I didn't put 7, 8, 9, and 10. I just put more blanks. You can enroll as many as you want because all of these can lead to pool shares. And I say all of these, it's just not new since March 27th. We are going to go back to those that have already been building a team since January Isagenix fiscal year, which is December 26th. And any of those people you enrolled, enrollment date new to Isagenix from December 26th on, they can also lead you to playing in the pool. So how it works, you got to unlock the play. There are no pool shares for unlocking. That was designed on purpose because it's not how many you can enroll. It's what we can get a group of people doing at the exact same time, which is having more people get paychecks. So Chris, we got a 5-minute tool that will explain this in more depth, but I want to hit on what it does. And this is the power. I didn't have this drawn on a whiteboard. That's our marketing material. You can do that. What it does do is it does a number of things. It forces behavior change. For some of it, it magnifies the good behaviors that you've been doing. For some of you, you're going to make a shift. You're going to make a pivot. And what this will do, Chris, it will blow the system with new people. And we know what new people does to a business. There's excitement, there's energy, and it's going to get more and more people getting checks. That's the key. That's what Tim Jones, CFO, I was listening at the mastermind in the fall. That's what he said. He said, when we look at momentum, the number one, the only thing that makes momentum spin really fast out of control is more people getting paid, more people getting checks. It's not Jason enrolling 10 and Jason getting a check. It's Jason having 10 people get a check. And so that's what this does. It drives the behavior of more people getting paid. And when more people getting paid, this thing gets really fun. It is the beginning of Mo. Understand the $1 million pool isn't the destination. It's the beginning of the journey that is the bridge that leads us to momentum, because we're going to increase the number of people getting paychecks. What it does is it creates excitement. That's what's happening right now in Isagenix. It increases our speed. It increases our energy. And then, of course, it drives the line. You see, of those 6, Chris, I only need 1 to get to director, to get to executive, and I'm playing in the pool. All because we drive the line with 1 person. 1 person hitting executive is 80 pool shares. That's it. I don't have to have, 8 people building. I need 1 to drive the line, and we can have magic pool play. What else does it do, Chris? Here's what it does the most. Besides driving a line and forcing depth and all the things we love, here's the X factor that it does. It increases hope. And everything changes when you fix your eyes on hope. You see, hope doesn't relate to IQ. Hope doesn't relate to income. Hope is an equal opportunity resource. Hope is contagious, Chris. And I know you always said in every presentation I ever heard you give at the end, get your hopes up. This $1 million pool is the beginning of hope for so many people who haven't had hope in their life in the last couple years.
Who wouldn't love to have a Jason West in your business? And I just want you to know, because if you listen to him, number one, what did you hear? You heard energy, enthusiasm. And remember, enthusiasm costs nothing to have. It costs everything not to. And so you want to borrow someone else's excitement if you don't have any, and you should, but you heard it, the passion, the conviction, the belief. But what I want you to remember as we review here real quick is I'm essentially Jason's David. I'm his great-great-great-great-great-granddaddy. He's 9 levels deep from me, meaning I enrolled someone who enrolled someone who enrolled someone 9 levels deep, and we worked down deep into the business. And that's what we're driving, a new behavior, so we have more people that are winning. How many of you want some of your team to win? You want more of your team to win. You want more of your people making checks. Remember, knowledge trains. Maybe you write this down in your notes. Knowledge trains, checks sustain. And what we want is more people having success, more people making an impact. And when you make an impact, that means in this business, you are making money. We want you making more money. And when you do that, that means your people are making money. So Jason, there's a resource that everyone can take. We'll send that to you. It's a 5-minute Zoom that Jason recorded on how the pool works. There's social shareables in isagenixbusiness.com. There's a tracker that I encourage you to print off so that it can guide you every day on what you have or haven't done. I see some people that have that tracker with them right now. But Jason, the rubber meets the road when someone can do this. And so we actually have someone, you're like, gosh, someone's already qualified for the pool? Yes. See, when you work with energy, you force energy, you evoke an emotion, a feeling of hope and belief and certainty, and you create a buy-in, then things happen. And so what's happened is people have sped up the activities that they know produce income. And we have someone that has already, listen to me, has already earned 114 shares in the pool. They've already qualified. How did that happen? Well, I'm going to bring this person on in a second, but here's what I want you to know. You should be celebrating this person because this has nothing to do with you. You're not competing with people in this pool. You're only competing with yourself. Remember, when you compete with others, you get bitter. When you compete with yourself, you get better. And that's exactly what we're doing here is we're competing with ourselves to say, are we going to put a little pep in our step? Do we want something more than what we have? Can we make a shift, a pivot, and say, you know what, we're going to drive the behavior that brings Big Mo to our business? Who wants some Big Mo in their business? We're talking about momentum. And so I'm going to bring on a top producer, a top recruiter, but someone who knows that if I go wide, it means nothing if I don't go deep. And she's driven a line and she's done it in multiple ways, and she's already qualified for this pool. She's going to walk the stage with a $10,000 check. I feel pretty confident about it. And so I want to welcome and let her share how in the world she earned 114 shares in this pool already. Remember, this thing goes until June 25th. So if you haven't started, if you haven't earned a share yet, it's okay. Today's the dawn of a new day for you to say, you know what? I do have to go from urgency to emergency. I need to run with this thing and take advantage. But Becky Forbes is who I'm talking about. And all you have to do, Becky, is unmute and share with us your background and what in the world are you doing?
Hey guys. So I'm super, super stoked to be on this call and to be in this promotion. So I'm going to tell you a quick story about 3 people, which is how I got to where I am right now. So a little bit about my background. Again, my name is Becky Forbes. I've been in this industry for 11 and a half years now. My background is in fitness and dance. I'm a professional dancer, national fitness instructor. I've done the whole gym circuit, the whole dance circuit. But as anybody can probably guess, the money is not substantial and there's no benefits in that kind of an industry, as good as I was and as much as I loved it. So 11 and a half years ago, I was introduced to network marketing. I got in it for the money, very clearly got in it for the money. I needed something that could fit in the pockets of my life and that I could do. We had 4 kids. My littlest one was 2 years old. I was working 50 plus hours a week. My husband's working 70 something hours a week. So we had no time. Got into a little company, a great company, rose through all the ranks. And then 3 years after I was in that company, boop, 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 here comes Zija. We became part of Zija. And then 3 years after Zija, boop, 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 here we are in Isagenix. So three years ago, we became Isagenix. In each of those companies, I did the same thing, pedal to the metal, rose as fast and as hard as I can. And the biggest thing I did was work with speed. So when I came in 11 and a half years ago, I was getting my lights shut off. Make no mistake, I worked hard. My husband worked hard, but 4 kids is expensive, guys, right? So pedal to the metal, did it. My story from that first month is what created the projection for the rest of what I did in my career. That story, that getting to 6 figures, that speed was what made everything happen. And then I just repeated that when we went to Zija, and I repeated that when we went to Isagenix. So first 2 years in Isagenix was cranking through it. And then last year hit a bit of a lull. And any leader knows that happens. I was building primarily through social media, and I'm really good at social media. I have over 30,000 followers. So I was doing really well through social media, but I knew that I had to get back in front of people. And the pandemic was kind of winding down, and I knew as good as I was missing the interaction. I was missing the connection. I was missing all that kind of stuff. So I had to intentionally, I heard Jason use the word, a couple times, and Chris, there's so much intention, guys, when you build this business, and strategy and accountability and planning. And so I intentionally hooked up with a trainer that I used to work with and opened up a small fitness studio for myself so that I could put myself in front of people. I could put myself back in the health forum of meeting people who wanted to get healthy and who would be interested in my products. And then I intentionally drank my products in front of everybody and mixed my nitro and did my e-shots and did all of that. Last July, a girl came flying up the stairs for a class that I almost canceled. Her name is Julie Ramistelli. You guys have probably heard her name. She's a little bit hurricane, a little bit tornado, a little bit rainbow with some sprinkled glitter thrown in. Came flying up the stairs to my studio, and honest to God, it was a hot day, and I almost canceled my class that day. She came up, it was a dance class, and she was the only one in class. I said, "Oh, do you dance?" She said, "No." I said, oh my God, I gotta do an hour class with this girl who can't dance. What? So I did the class, drinking my stuff. 2 weeks into it, she says, "What is that you're drinking?" So I pulled a Chris Estes. I said, "Well, I'm glad you asked," right? That's one of his favorite sayings. So glad you asked. At that time, we were launching the 7-day reset. So drink my stuff. She says, "I've got really bad gut issues. Do you have anything?" So glad you asked. Get her on the 7-day reset. Her whole life changes. Then she comes back for another order. I kid you not, you guys. She said, "I want to do that 7-day reset, the collagen, the adaptogen, the nootropic. I want to try the moringa." I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. Her order was like $800. I'm all excited. I get home. She texts me. She said, "Never mind. I can't afford to commit to that. So I don't want to start it unless, how do you do that stuff that you do and make the money?" So glad you asked, right? So I sit down with her. Long story short, I go through it with her. She wants to make big money. We mapped out a plan. Guys, she came in, she hit Crystal Manager in a month, Crystal Director in her next month, Crystal Executive right before Christmas. Then she came to NYKO with me. We got all fired up at NYKO, and she went back, she reset. She's one away from resetting again. But the point of Julie is, last July, I didn't know her. Now she's one of the biggest earners on my team, resetting pretty much twice Crystal Executive in 7 months. The reason why I tell you this is because the excitement that happened with Julie, right? I was all over social media with it. I was intentionally writing how she was a special ed teacher, no experience. She just followed what we needed to do. She was super coachable, right? You need to be coachable. You need to listen. She was at my house twice a week. She was accountable to me. With all of that stuff leads me to Michelle, who is what leads me to the 114 points. So Michelle, I've known for a decade, more than a decade. We never connected in business, but I brought my daughter to her dance studio in September. And when I met with her in the waiting room, she said, "I see you've been doing really well in that network marketing that you've been doing." Well, yes, I have. I knew she had also done well in a different company, but it wasn't the right time. She made it clear she did not want to do it then. So what did I do? I dripped. Every time I'm in the studio, I'm drinking my products and talking about my fancy lifestyle. No, of course, we could go to that competition because I barely work. I don't have any hours. We can go here. We can go there. Dripping, 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 dripping. Guys, you've got to live the life, product-wise and the lifestyle, right? If you want to show people that you're making money, you've got to project that. So go to NYKO, find out about the Crystal Reset. Now I've got to go walk the walk, right? I got to lead my team by example. So I come home, I enroll some people. Now, this is where I pulled the U-turn. It was such a sharp U-turn. I'm going to call it a V-turn, man. This was so sharp. I had some orders to put through, and I said, I'm going to pull the card now. I called Michelle, and I said, "Listen, I've got a couple of orders that I want to put in. Do me a favor. I know she's a fitness instructor in super good shape. We were hitting competition season for dance, which means a lot of hours on the road." I said, "Just tell me some products you want. I'm going to put you in to my system. I'm going to throw these orders on you, making your money back." She said, "Funny you should have called, because I've really been thinking about everything that I've been watching you do." She wasn't liking anything on Facebook, but she was watching it like everybody's watching you. So 4 days later, she's enrolled, and she said, "Show me the fastest way that I can make money. If I'm doing this all the way." Again, coachable, accountable. So we run through the same thing. By the way, she hit Crystal Executive in 9 weeks. So she got all the bonuses. She made all the money. And in that process, she led me to the third person that I want to bring up. She is not on this Zoom. She doesn't even know how to log into her back office. She just hit Crystal Director last week. She doesn't even know what it means, but she said to Michelle, so it's not my person. So I brought in Michelle. Michelle's connected to multiple fitness instructors because I'm out of the game a little bit. I teach at my little bougie studio 10 hours a week. Well, I only teach 5, but Michelle's super connected. So we bring in another fitness trainer that says, I want a bunch of my people to do the 30-day reset. Now, Michelle's still only in 9 weeks, so it comes up to me. Michelle's got the lead. Lisa, who you will likely never meet, brings the people in. I say to Lisa, all I need to know is if you're going to trust me to organize these people so that I can make you some money. And here's where the 3 and 4 levels come in and the 114 points. Because Lisa trusted in Michelle. Michelle trusted in me. I got on a Zoom with these women. I did what? I dripped. Oh, yeah, you guys can call me any time of day. This is what I do full time. I make a substantial income. So I'm dripping those things, dripping about collagen. They came in for 30-day resets only, but I'm talking about other products. Then intentionally, Michelle and I didn't sign any of them up through text. We had a conversation so we could find out what other health issues that they have, blah, 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 this and that. I make a Facebook page just for them. I talk about collagen. I talk about Supermix, broadening what they can do. Then we get to the 4-day Isagenix sale, which was a busy competition weekend. And I called all of those women and said, look, if you guys want to start some extra products, I can show you a way where we can put your orders underneath you. You can make $150 to $170 back. You can get the 20% off. I did that with all of those women. And we got 4 of them to come in then. And then we just hit our second round of the 30-day reset. So we brought in 11 women who are all my 4 PET last week. So they all count in the promo. So 3 PET, 4 PET. Michelle's got her 3 PET and she's only been in 9 weeks. And we're just driving a line. So it's through one woman who wouldn't even know how to log in with us. I told her. In fact, when she wants products, she texts me. She doesn't even, honest to God, she doesn't know how to log into her back office. And it works perfect with me because she brings me to people I would never know, right? And that's the point of what we do. And that's why we drive the lines. So 3 women. So Julie's excitement got me to get to Michelle, who saw the success. Now, Julie and Michelle are partnered up. They're going crazy. I see Rhonda on here. Rhonda knew Julie and Michelle, so she joined because there's a whole big thing happening, and we're just creating this. But the 2 words that I just want to leave you with are speed. None of this would have happened without speed. None of their stories or mine would have been what it is without all those rank breaks and all that financial story that comes with it, and intentionality and commitment and accountability. And that's what really got us there. There's like whiteboards all over my house. It's crazy. And I absolutely love it. So that's what I got, Chris. I don't know if I missed anything. I'm so excited.
Y'all give some love in the chat to Becky Forbes. And I love the word speed. And in your notes, what I'd encourage you to write down is success. Who wants to have some success here? Success loves speed. Success loves speed. Speed's the currency of business today. And remember, speed or success doesn't happen to you. It happens because of you, because of your speed, because of your action. Success and speed removes the barrier of entry, as Jason alluded to earlier. Speed creates and moves you from urgency to emergency. And so what we all want to do, what to do as we leave this call is to move faster, to move with speed. But because Becky moved with speed, because she had energy, and remember, team, synergy builds energy. And because she built a team that created more energy, it's just been a fire into an inferno for her. What did she do? She did a U-turn with a relationship. Some of you have people you talked to about Isagenix 3 months ago, 3 years ago. You should maybe do a U-turn. That's essentially what she did with Michelle. That's the line. Listen to me. That's the line she's driven to create 114 plus shares. You all put in the chat, shares. You're earning shares in a $1 million pool. And you do it by what? Driving the line. That's what Becky did through Michelle, driving a line, building with speed. So take advantage of what's available for you. And I'd encourage you, when you get to recording, take that 7 minutes and listen to it, because we could do a whole training on Becky's segment there. Now I'm going to transition for the next 8-10 minutes with 2 legends, literal legends. We're talking about multiples of decades in the business. They have an international business, but it's, you know, you grow local and you build local, grow global. And that's exactly what happened for them. They've earned mega millions of dollars. You know, they're essentially mentors for me. I look up to them in big ways, but I'm going to start with Dwayne, always making it rain, forcing some pain, always having a desire with a big fire. Dyer, we're talking about Dwayne Dyer. I just want him to share his vision on where we're going and his thoughts and perspectives, because listen, when you've been around for a decade or 2 decades or longer in this business, you've seen the ups and the downs and the ebbs and flows and the peaks and the valleys and all of the things. So Dwayne, I know for me, I'm 15 years into this business. I can't remember a time, maybe it's that first wave of momentum we had this back in 11, 12, that I've seen the energy in such a short period of time. And I'd love your perspective and you to share with the team tonight.
Well, thank you, Chris, for the invite to have me on the call. This is a really good call. I'm just so impressed. I've scrolled through and looked at every picture that's here, and there's just some great leaders. And Becky, you hit it out of the park. Jason, I'm a Southern California boy, and we don't talk that fast like you do on the East Coast or, Kentucky. I didn't think people in Kentucky talk that fast, but I'm just so impressed with the quality that's here. And just congrats to each one of you for taking time out of a busy schedule. I know this was kind of a last minute thing, and yet, we're pressing 300 people here, and it's just going to grow from here. So Chris, thank you. It's a very high quality call. And, I look at Chris, I look at Jason, I can't help but think of my son, Devin. My son, we had 3 boys and a daughter, and the boys were all involved in sports, and the daughter was involved in piano and the band, and all have been pretty successful in their lives. And I really look up to them. But my son, Devin, he's a sports jock. I look at Chris, I look at Jason, I think of Devin. You can't see this kid without a baseball cap. And I'm just shocked that we don't see a baseball cap on Chris tonight, because I'm just so used to seeing him with a cap. And Jason, it looks good on you. And I don't look good in a baseball cap. I'm more of a cowboy, I think, or something. But anyway, Devin was our boy that excelled in all sports. He, lettered in literally 4 letters in high school, and had offers to play football in a number of colleges. And so he just was the trigger for me that started it all. And that's what I want to kind of talk about tonight, is what drives you to really be successful in the business. Because people ask me, what do you do, Dwayne, on a daily basis that helps you build the business and keep the business going? And, we've been through some, like Chris said, ups and downs, mergers, acquisitions, et cetera, et cetera. We've been playing defense sometimes. It's more fun to play offense. And I think tonight we're playing offense on this call. But Devin was the one who triggered it for me, because he was the one that came and, we don't diagnose, prescribe, we don't play doctor, but what we do is care about people, and we care about those who we love. We care about our kids. We care about our parents. We care about our families. We care about each other. And that's, when you look at each other on the call and you scroll through and you look at every one of these pictures, there's a really high quality group that's here. I don't see any slime balls on there. Well, some are blacked out, so I don't know what you look like. But, for the most part, we see, and this is what the strength of the organization is. It's the core of who Isagenix is. I love the art of well-being as a motto. And well-being they use it interchangeably with wellness, well-being and wellness, very similar. And this is the lead statement. It brings it back to my son, Devin. But this is the lead statement that Isagenix has, and I wanted to reiterate it tonight. Our health is the greatest personal asset that we have. Isagenix is making better wellness possible. Everyone deserves to experience a healthy, joyful, and abundant life. Healthy change starts now. That's the mission statement of Isagenix. That's the art of well-being. That's what we lead off with on the Isagenix website. I absolutely love that. The definition of wellness, what do the experts say? It's the health triangle. It's physical health, mental health, and social health. And I would add to that, as a baseline, also financial health. Though that's the triangle, that's the stability of Isagenix, and a big reason of why we're here on this call. Well, linking back to Devin, Devin, when he was a young man, he developed this skin condition called eczema or eczema. Common, I guess. As I've been around the world, I've seen it all over the place and heard about it all over the place. And we take him to the doctors, and the doctor would say, we prescribe steroidal creams and this and that. And we took him to one doctor that happened to be a health and natural doctor. He's a MD, but he deals a lot with natural products. And he said, I want you to try this product. Well, we tried the product in 4 or 5 days. We got great results. And suddenly it clicked on for me. Why doesn't the whole world know about this? Like, why can't we take this message to the world that there's alternative ways of creating greater health that blesses the lives of people, and especially those that we love the most? And that for me was the trigger. And I'm telling you, when people say to me, what do you do on a daily basis? I get up in the morning, I get in the shower, I think of 4 or 5 people that need wellness in their lives. They need a physical health, they need mental health, or they need social health. And if we do that on a regular basis and we act upon those who come to mind, there's nothing that stops us. And what I love about the Isagenix compensation plan is it drives in depth. And what I love about this new promotion is it drives in depth. It rewards the exact behavior that we want to be doing anyway to build our organizations. It just does it in an accelerated way, in a way that we can draw it out and put it on a board and see exactly what we need to do to participate in even greater financial health that leads to what we have a desire, which is to help bless people's lives. Now, I was giving this message one time in Japan, and I know if you've heard me say this, but it's a kind of a fun thing that literally drove it home for me. And this man said, let me make sure I understand. You have to wake up in the morning, you have to think about 5 people, and then you have to, act upon, that. And he took it a step further, and I missed it in the translation. I said, you need to get up in the morning, you need to touch 5 people. And I was meaning it, by telephone or by, and he took it literal. And he said, I got to get up in the morning, I got to touch 5 people. And so it created a little bit of laughter in the room. And I said, you almost got it right in the translation, but the reality is that's what we do. We touch people. We get on the phone, we get in coffee shops, we just recently attended 2 nephews' graduation in Hawaii this week. And while we were there, I said, what's your career going to be like? And he said, well, I'm not quite decided what I'm going to do. I said, spend 45 minutes with me. End result, signed him up. He's got 200 plus BB in product. He's now looking at sponsoring 2 people this week. He's got a challenge. He's got incentive to do it. And it's just a matter of literally touching those that we care most about and delivering the message that we really have products that make a great difference in people's lives. And I got to end with this, Chris. Where are we going? We're going with some great product developers in Isagenix. I was in 2 meetings this last month. In fact, Ruth and I were in one meeting down in Southern California. We were with another meeting in Colorado. Sarah Richter was at both meetings. She's the product education specialist for Isagenix. And she was amazing. I could have listened to her all day. She went for about 2 hours going through the products. And it just reconfirmed to me again and again just how strong the Isagenix products are and how we really can bless those whom we love the most with the products that we have. Recently this week, they introduced the new Isagenix Bea biotics product. Yeah, hold it up there, Becky. I'm telling you, we've blown through 2 cases already. My wife is on my case about not drinking anymore until our next case comes in. It was supposed to be in this week. Went to order more and it wasn't available for order. I think they're trying to fill now the auto ship orders that it's on until they get back up to speed. But everyone that has tried this product loves it. This is going to be another home run hit. So you have Collagen Elixir, home run. You have Bea, I like the Mango Mimosa, home run. You got these fantastic whole food shakes, home run. You just got these, and you know what? It's not stopping. They're just going to keep bringing it because I know Dr. Joshua Plant and I know his team. I know Sarah Richter. I know the team they have. And if you come to Celebration, You're going to hear a whole hour just on the double-blind studies that they do and all the research and the peer-reviewed journals and articles that they publish. And I'm telling you, this is very unique in our industry, and it attracts the quality at the top, attracts very high quality throughout the organization. And that's what sustains an organization the most, is the quality of people. If you attract a bunch of slime balls, people who are just in it for the money deal. I like how Joel talks, and I know he's coming up here in a minute, but he's got these, these the money deals just go to more money deals that go to Bitcoin, that go to other money deals, and pretty soon you've got people doing illegal things and the organization just shatters. But when you have people that really understand, and I love what Chris said about the knowledge of the products, when you have people who really understand what we have and they get the education and they see the strength of the products and they become a product of the product, like Becky says, they start using the product and using the product on a regular basis, they never leave. And that's what you want. You want to build an organization that's stable and strong, that will endure the highs and lows through the organization. So Chris, what do we have looking forward? Wow, we've got some great things to look forward to. I can't wait to see what they unveil in Celebration. I love these products. It's just a matter of now, choosing which products I want to take on a daily basis, because there's so many that are so great. So Chris, thank you. I'm honored to be with such great leaders on the call tonight. Thanks for having me on for a few minutes. I sure appreciate you, brother.
Hey, thank you, Dwayne. You all share some love for Dwayne in the chat. I love his heart. Can you all feel it? He has a heart for people, and he has a heart for service, and we appreciate him. Back in 2018, I'd never been in business. I'd never been in network marketing. I jump in, and one of the first people I hear on a call, a conference call, a training call, was, I didn't know it at the time, but a legend in the business and network marketing. And I got, guidance from him and training and teaching from him in those initial months and years to help me grow my business. And I'm so thankful for his partnership, our partnership, and all the ups and downs, the learning that we've both embraced over the years. But he holds a special place in my heart for all of his mentorship and guidance. And so I'd love for David Moses to share his excitement and his wisdom on where we're going, and his excitement on this movement that's taking place here in Isagenix.
Well, thank you, Chris. Great to see you. And Jason, thank you for your leadership and enrolling the company and the rest of the advisory board into this program. Love it. So I just want to say I love Kentucky. So to everybody, we are in a unique position to set a new bar in Isagenix. And I want to maybe share it from a whole other perspective, which are the intangibles. By the way, congratulations, Becky, also for setting the pace. When I look at my business after 34 years in this industry, I can tell you with absolute certainty that 99.9% of the leaders that have been responsible for our success came from relationships that I couldn't have imagined, I couldn't have foreseen when we took our initial action. And that is the real magic. That's where the gold is in this promotion. It's great to get a piece of the pool. And there'll be a lot of people that will get a piece of the pool. But I believe there'll be even more success from all the people who take action. And here's why. Because if you speak to any leader in network marketing, doesn't matter the company, doesn't matter where they are, any leader in Isagenix, I'll guarantee you this, 100%, with absolute certainty, they will tell you that 99.9% of their success did not come from their friends, from their family, or directly from the people that they sponsored. Their success came from the doors that were opened by those action steps, right? Many levels down. I mean, that's what Jason talked about, right? 9 levels down, a grandchild or grandfather or something. I can't remember how he put it or how Chris put it. I mean, Chris is my greatest grandson. Have to say that, Chris. I mean, all these people in Japan that Dwayne has, that I have, the ones in Europe, they didn't come from me. They came from other action steps. So here's what's going to happen with this pool. You can count on it. You can count on it 100%. He or she who takes action, who starts sponsoring people, who will lead you to other people, regardless of how many shares you get, doors will open, new relationships will be formed. And 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 12 months, 2 years down the road, you're going to find yourself, and we'll be telling some of these stories, you'll find yourself with some major leader like the one that Becky talked about, that story, who propels you to an entirely new level of success. And those are the intangibles of our business. I'll tell you one story. There are many. I could tell you probably 100, but I'll tell you one. So when I got started, I took action, as we all do. And in this 90-day program, what a grand opportunity to not just reset your business, but do it all over again, however you got started. I sponsored 15 people some years ago, actually well over a decade ago, almost 2 decades. And I gave each of those 15 people a specific goal. We talked about, their list and their contacts and how many people they thought they could sponsor. And then we put together a plan to help each of those new recruits hit their goal, right? So they had a goal, we had a plan. And the plan, of course, was the presentations that we do, the conference calls, the home presentations, and so forth. And then I helped execute that plan, as many of the leaders on here are doing and have done in the past. And those 15 people, they brought some people, some of them hit their goal, some of them exceeded their goal. At the end of month 1, there was 211 people from those 15. At the end of month 2, we did the same thing, sponsored 15 more. Many of them were follow-ups from the first month, gave them a goal, gave them a plan. They took action, they plugged into the system, and end of 2 months, we had 450. And we did the same thing the third month. I think I sponsored 12 people, a total of 42 people in 90 days. The doors that opened and the relationships that formed led to what we have today. However, there was a guy, and some of you may know him, a guy named Yuri. He was one of my original recruits, but he actually didn't get started right away. Things didn't work out. He joined and was kind of there, and not much happened for a little while. And he went through a lot of people, and then he got this referral, okay? And this is what can happen for virtually everybody who takes action. He got this referral, and the guy that was the referral, and Yuri's in Western Canada, decided he wasn't going to join our previous company. But he said, I know this girl that was on the Biggest Loser. I've never actually seen the show, but I heard it's something about weight loss or something. She was a runner-up. And she wanted to be a spokesperson for the company, and the company wasn't interested. Said, we're not looking to hire anybody. So, well, what ended up happening was she knew somebody in Utah. So another referral, okay? And she gave that referral, and we did a 3-way call. Turns out that guy knew a leader in another company who was looking for a home in Japan. in Japan, from Utah, from this guy that I had in Canada, from his referral who didn't join, who led to a lady that wanted to be a spokesperson. From that one referral, from actions taken, I believe we've done over $100 million in volume since the inception of Japan with our Japan team. And I didn't know one single person from that team, but it became a significant part of the group. That's one story. There are hundreds of stories like that. That's how our business is built. It's built on the intangible side, which can only take place when we take action. And that's why I often say that action supersedes everything, absolutely everything. So whatever happens from the pool, that's just gravy. That's just icing on the cake. Those are just the sprinkles. The exciting part is the doors that open, the new people you meet, and who they will lead you to as we go into the fall and into 2024. And that's what I'm most excited about, Chris. Looking forward to working with all the new leadership that emerges from this 90-day program. So let's take action and maximize both sides of the program, the tangibles and the intangibles. Back to you, sir.
Absolutely. You all give some love for David Moses, legend. And again, the pool is nothing more than a setup for the behavior and what's coming next. So keep in mind, yeah, there's money for you on the table, but this is a setup. And you might say, well, Chris, why did you all in just a couple of days build for this big Zoom? Because we wanted you to understand the importance of what is happening right now and where we're going. Because in the next 7 to 10 days, we're going to build for another organizational Zoom, another team Zoom. We're going to give you the date and the time and the days to come. But just know that in the next 7 to 10 days, it's very important for you. If you look in the mirror, you're doing the checkup from the neck up, you want something more than what you have, you want your business to move with more speed, you want more people to have success, then you're going to take the bull by the horn, pedal to the metal, and you're going to go fast, because it's all a setup for what's coming next. And what's coming next is what we're going to share with you next week. But I can tell you, if you don't take advantage and bring on new team members and project, just like you heard Becky, that's why you want to watch that, the replay of Becky's segment, is she moved with speed and she did that U-turn, but she moved. And because of that speed, she was able to create traction. And what you want to do is bring on team members who bring on team members. And next week, when you look at the Zoom, you want to 10x what you have today. You want to have new people that's brought on new people that's learning firsthand, first to know. Maybe you put that in your notes. First to know, next week when we come on another Zoom, you're going to get set up for the next phase of this movement. So this is a setup, but if you're not taking action, you're going to be one of the people that say, oh, I wish I had. And there's going to be people like Dwayne Dyer that says, I'm glad I did. So take advantage. And as I leave here tonight and let Joel McNinch, Joel on a roll and control on a mission for commission with nutrition who makes everything a cinch McNinch, he's going to close this call down with his energy, with his excitement, with his vision. He's also, listen, we have 2 of 5 members of the field advisory board for the U.S. here on the call. We started with one, Jason. We're going to finish with another one with Joe. But I'm going to give you 3 groups, 3 words, and 3 questions to put in your notes to help you, to guide you over the next 7 to 10 days. And these first 3 groups are the people you should be talking to. Who do I talk to? Everyone. But these are the 3 specific groups. The first one is new. All things new. New blood is the lifeblood, the new prospects. Remember Becky's story, though. She did a U-turn, a drip, a drip campaign with Michelle, who, by the way, has also qualified and unlocked. I think she's at 74 shares or something. So it wasn't just Becky. There's a new person that's also qualified. That should give all of you hope. This isn't about veterans earning in a pool. It's equal opportunity. And so you guys can take advantage. Your new people that jump in today, jump in tomorrow, can take advantage. So the new people, the current associate base, the active, the inactive, the terminated. It's the be able to go back, U-turn, and re-engage with your energy and projecting of where we're going. And then the last is the customers, knowing that we can convert customers now for free. Y'all put in the chat, free. So that's the 3 groups. And then there's 3 words I want you to adopt and I want you to really feel. And the first one is energy. Have it. Have some energy. What Jason did is he forced this energy into corporate, into the field, and now it's duplicating. That's what we do in network marketing. We duplicate. And so there's energy. Have energy. Move with speed. So the second word is speed. Move faster than what you typically would move for this 90-day wind sprint, as David would say in some of his trainings. And then the third one is drive depth. So energy, speed, and depth. Those are the 3 words. And then here's the 3 questions, and I'll turn it to Joel. These are just little action steps that help you think, that's easy to remember. The 3 questions you should be asking yourself and asking your team every single day is, who can I talk to? Who can I meet with? Who can I do an event for? Who can I talk to? Who can I meet with? Who can I do an event for? Who can I talk to? Who can I meet with? Who can I do an event for? That's what Becky Forbes, how did she generate 114 shares? She has energy. She's moving with speed. She's driving depth. And every day she's asking Michelle and she's asking her team, who can I talk to for you? Who can I meet with for you? Who can I do an event for you? So if you want to go from overlooked to overbooked, you must ask the questions. You must move with those words. And so I'm going to turn the last few minutes of this power hour to the one and only multi-mega $1,000,000 earner. He's a committed warrior. We just love Joel. And so Joel MACNINCH, I'm going to let you close this thing down. Thank you all so much for joining tonight.
Hey, Chris. Okay, there's not a lot left I can add, guys, but I want to bring out one. Yoli, can you unmute yourself real quick? So this is Yoli Perez, guys. She's been with us about a little over 4 years. She's a 6-figure earner part-time. Her and her husband own a tire shop. She also has about 70 points already, guys, part-time. She's a grandma. She's actually got a house full of people at her house right now for a family member's funeral. Like, she's got a lot going on. So you think you're busy, everybody's busy. Like, if you want to lose, pick an excuse, anyone will work, right? But if you want to win, right, you just pick one good reason and you grab a hold of it and seize it, guys, and you don't let off it, right? That's it. You got to have a why, grab a hold of that and seize it. Guys, Yoli is a rock star. She's, I guess the biggest thing about her is she always likes the promotion. She wins the trips and all the stuff. She's always winning the stuff, the goodies. Guys, this is the biggest bunch of goodies they've ever given us. I mean, those trips might have a shelf value of like $3,500, a couple plane tickets to Cancun and, a lodging for a few days. I mean, they're great. I win every one I can. As a matter of fact, I think I've won them all. So I never pass down a promo or whatever. Guys, but this is $10,000. Man, you could go on 3 all-expense paid vacations for this. This is 10 G's, man. This is a big deal. Last time I was involved in a $1 million promotion was 20 years ago in Excel, and it was a year-long promo, and at the end of it, it only went to 100 people and all this stuff. Guys, this is $1 million, 90 days, and you get your shit. Guys, there's going to be people pulling shares out of this from all over the place. I hope every person on this call gets their share, does better for their family, and catalyzes their business. But Yoli, are you with us?
Yes, sir, Joel, I'm right here.
Yoli, thanks for jumping on. I know time's short, but will you talk about how you're being successful, driving depth, getting points, all that good stuff?
Yes, sir. Thank you all for having me. I feel so honored as well to be on here tonight. But I'm actually so excited. Like Joel mentioned, when the company puts out these promos, I've always been taught by my upline, never leave money on the table, right? And just like Becky, I love to build with speed and energy. I'm the type of person when I get the promo.
Outside your pizza?
Sorry. The very first thing that I did was I printed out the tracker. And that next day we were going to have a meeting here in Brownsville with Tommy. So guess what I did? Everybody at my meeting got their tracker. Before I headed out to the meeting, all my people, what I did was I started the tracker for them because I know there was a lot of what's going on. This is new. I don't understand it. It's okay. Let me start helping you and fill it out. So that's what I started doing. Then what I did was, actually, she's on here on this call tonight. And one of my newest people, her name is Lucia. She's been watching me for over 2 years. For those of you guys that don't know my story, long story short, I've lost 203 pounds on these amazing products that we have. I feel like I've never felt before in so many years. I just became a grandma and I want to be the best version of myself and the best grandma for my grandkids and for my children, right? So I hit it into high gear and I've lost 203 pounds now. So with that being said, one of my customers from our shop, she's been watching me, following me for over 2-3 years now. And every time she'd see me, she'd, okay. So about a month ago, it hasn't even been a month, it's been 3 weeks. About 3 weeks ago, she comes in, she sits down and she's like, okay, girl, I'm showing everybody your picture. I'm telling everybody about you. I'm going to sit here and I want what you're doing. Like, now I want it. I'm serious. I said, okay, this is what I'm doing. So I shared with her what I was doing. I shared with her about the collagen and about, the weight loss products that have helped me. And then I told her, I'm like, hey, you know what? If you go get 2 people, your investment that you're putting into this, you're literally going to get it back. And then some. I said, and then some. She's like, really? Well, what are you talking about? Guys, I'll be really honest. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you people here on this Zoom can relate to me. I was one of the persons at first who wouldn't lead with the business. Ever since I went to Celebration last year, boom, like a light bulb just went into my head and I'm like, I'm going to start talking about the business, I was just more reserved about talking about it, but everybody's looking for that extra money. So anyways, I told Lucia about it as well. She owns a trucking company and I told her about it. She goes, you know what? I got my bookkeeper, my public accountant that does my taxes. I showed her your pictures. I go, put her on the phone. Put her on the phone with me. She put her right there on the phone with me. Guess what? We signed her up and her employee up right there. I said, girl, you get 2 people and this is what's going to happen. Lucia went crystal manager in 3 days. 3 days. So that happened. And then she tells me, hey, I have a sister we're in Texas. I have a sister in Illinois. Put her on the phone. I have a sister in Arkansas. Let's put her on the phone. My friend in Florida, she has this XYZ. Put her on the phone. So building personal relationships with these people on the phone. Lucia, like Becky mentioned as well, doesn't even know how to log into her back office. She calls me and tells me here, this and that. And I'm so busy right now that I said, okay, I'll show you this and that. She goes to the meeting, shows up. And I said, hey, you know what? Ken, let's book a meeting. So she went to my meeting. She took a whole bunch of girls. They sat in the back of the room. And guess what? They all signed up. Add them to your paper. Let's go. Let's add them all up, right? So we started doing that. Then I know she's on here as well. She tells me, hey, guess what? I told my pastor about this. And you know what? I really think this can help her. Put your pastor on the phone. Put her pastor on the phone. Crazy that the pastor, I know I went to school with the pastor's daughter and son. She's like, my daughter knows you. I said, yeah, show her my pictures. Let's go. So anyways, we got Pastor Bennett on this. I called Tommy. Pastor Bennett calls me and tells me, hey, Yoli, can you come do a meeting here at my church? Absolutely. Tommy, come down to Brownsville. We got a meeting at the church. So we got Pastor Bennett on, and Pastor Bennett as well. Like I mentioned, she's on here. She's been calling me every day. Hey, Yoli, I got this sister from the church and I got my sister over here and this person over there. Put them on the phone. Let's go. So guess what? That drove me to level 2 to level 3 to level 4. Not only that, what got it started was helping Lucia. Like we mentioned, when you get people paid, you get them excited. Her first check almost had a comma in it. It was about $900 and something. So of course, who's not going to get excited with the first week check of $900, So kept that momentum going and told her, hey, you know what? Let's go get your sister to get to. Let's go get your other sister in Tennessee. She's like, my sister's driving up to Tennessee right now. Get them on. And the best part about it was they just mentioned that free enrollment, to upgrade. So they all took advantage of the upgrade. So we got everybody signing up, people all over the place. That one person has led me to about 70 shares now. And this is just the beginning. I told Joel, we're going for it. We're going all the way to the 10,000. And guess what? I'm taking all of them with me. She's about to hit her 50 points right now. She's going to hit them. She calls me every day. As we were here on the Zoom, she messaged me, call me. I got 2 more people in and my brother-in-law wants to upgrade. So guys, all you have to do is build relationships with people, share with them, help them. And by default, that's going to get you in the pool, them in the pool, everybody paid, and everybody's so excited. So I just, highly recommend, keep that excitement up with your team, guys. Share the momentum, build that momentum, keep that momentum going. Right now I have this momentum, this fire lit at the bottom, going up with all this team, that it excites me, And I highly recommend, guys, to go out there and share this pool with everybody. Print out the tracker for yourself, print it out for your team if you haven't done it, and show them how much money can be made in this awesome pool, and don't leave any money left on the table.
Well said, Yoli. Guys, we'll wrap this up here, guys. But let me tell you, the first way to fail in your business is to not have a plan, right? There's an old saying, plan your work, work your plan. Guys, work's been planned. Here's the 90-day thing. Jason West came up with it. Here's how it works. You just go do it, right? There's nothing to it but to do it. So no reason to obsess or sit around and plan. Work's been planned, right? It's just time to go to work, right? So we want to go to work now, and that's what's up, guys. Here's a little tip for you. When I'm talking to people, and I'm doing this right now, when I'm talking to people, I'm calling Yoli. Yoli, hey, listen, there's this $1 million pool, and would you be interested in making an extra 10 grand possibly over the next 90 days? It's kind of one of those things where you get it, I get it. Like, I'm looking for some people to partner with. Would that have some interest for you? Guys, that's kind of my line to recruit. Like, I'm talking to these people like, hey, I'm looking for someone to partner with. $1 million. We could potentially make up to 10 grand next 90 days, a little summer money, whatever. It's one of those things where if I help you get it, I get it. So I'm looking for some people to partner with. Would you like to further our conversation, right? Guys, that's how we're recruiting, right? You got to help somebody else. You got to blow somebody else up, just like Becky did with her gal, Yoli did with her gal. For you to get what you want, Zig Ziglar, we got to help some other people get what they want, and that's shares in the pool, right? So Operation Get 6, Develop 50 in full effect, guys. There's only 2 things you need to be obsessing about relentlessly. Get 6, Develop 50. Why do people fail in business? They got nothing to do. They float out there in the wind. They're used to being told what to do all the time. I got a job. I got to go here. I got to go there. You do this. You do that. You. And then they get in this business. They don't know what to do. They're floating all over. I'm already executive. What do I do now? Like, they don't work the plan, right? And this is a great thing that they've put a short-term promotion that put in place for 90 days that gives you concrete, actionable things that you can go do and get, right? So again, what do you obsess on every single day? Get 6, Develop 50. There's nothing else, guys, that you need to be focused on more so currently than Get 6, Develop 50. Every day I'm thinking, am I getting another one toward my 6? And am I helping one of my existings get people to develop points? Develop 50, right? Get 6, Develop 50. That's all I got, guys. God bless y'all. Have a great evening.
Let's go swimming. Let's go swimming in the pool. Thank you all. Y'all have a great night. Let's go crush it. It's
Recording
swim time,
stopped.
full time.
Good night. Thank you.